Hi, I'm Marsh from StrataGames, and today we're playing 4-Color Affinity. I have been playing Esper Cryoblade a lot recently, which is very similar to Grixis Affinity in a lot of ways, but we get our white spells, Glint Hawk and Core Skyfisher, but we lose out on the red spells that are really good in Grixis Affinity, so I figured why not mash them all together, and with it we get this absolutely gorgeous 8 spells of each of our 5 different colors, well, 4 colors and colorless. This might not be the best way to actually build a mana base, but I thought it would be just very satisfying 2 of each untapped Mirrodin land and 2 of each bridge in our colors, so we're going to give it a try. Now, we do have a little bit of fixing in 3 Navigator's Compass. We have a Spell Bomb and we have Mirror Enforcers. For red, the things that we get is, of course, some reach and some removal with Galvanic Blast. We have Krark Clan Shaman for board wipes and the one of Makeshift Munitions. We get Refurbished Familiar, Fanatical Offering is some card draw and Blood Fountains. Blue, we get Thoughtcast and Cryogen Relic. And white, we get these bouncers that can replay the Relic, they can replay Refurbished Familiar, Compass. Blood Fountain's not a great one to recur, but if we have to, we can do that. And then in our sideboard, we have Dust to Dust, Thraben Charm, Blue Elemental Blast, Red Elemental Blast, Breath Weapon, and a one of Fairy Macabre. If you want to see our curve, it looks a little bit more like this. Of course, all of these have affinity, so they can be as cheap as 1 or 0 mana. We're going to see how this goes. It might just be a pile, but of course, it's a lot of very good cards. The question is, will the mana work out? All right, round 1 here, we have all of our colors of mana, a little bit slow with a lot of tap lands, and some pretty reasonable things to play, so we're not going to be shipping this back anytime soon. Definitely we're going to be very slow with all of our tap lands in general, so we hope to not play against very aggressive decks. This looks like it might be Bogles, so not sure that's working out perfectly for us yet. We're going to start with black so that we can play a Blood Fountain next turn. We'll probably play the Silver Bluff next turn so we have all of our colors. And there's a Utopia Sprawl and a Ledgewalker. Okay, I could just play a Refurbished Familiar for 2 here, but the chances that they can grow this are very large, so I don't really think that does us much good. I'd rather just get our affinity count up high quickly and get our tap lands down. Because next turn I can go Refurb and Thoughtcast, maybe even like Enforcers if we draw those. This is technically on the ground, even though it can't be blocked except by creatures with flying, so a Krark would be great to draw. They have an Abundant Growth and an Armor, and another Armor. We were not able to fit Toxin Analysis in our main deck, or deck at all, I think. So this could be problematic. I can make him discard 1 card, but not 2. So it's possible they can sandbag some trample here, unless I can like draw an untapped black and another refurb, but we're going to kick things off with Thoughtcast regardless. We get a Glint Hawk. Well, I will play refurb, ram through. I guess just knowing a ram through exists, maybe I should just play a Glint Hawk and not pick up the refurb as another blocker. If they do have ram through, it doesn't trample unless they also top deck trample, so maybe we're fine, but I guess we'd like to chump if we can. So sure, I'll play this. Just buy back the Blood Fountain. Hope to not die here. Rancor, gonna make things tough. Any other enchantment's gonna be lethal. Or a ram through, okay. They either kept 2 ram throughs or they top deck the Rancor. Either way, very good draw for them. We get Thraben Charm. Breath Weapon can be okay, and nothing else. Krark is good with no Death Touch. This could definitely be a tough match for us. Blood Fountain's less relevant. Makeshift does not matter at all. And we don't need as much late game card draw, I guess. They don't have any blue or red spells. Graveyard, not really relevant. A 2/2 flyer I don't care for either, so we're just going to hope to get an early Krark or some Thraben Charms or Breath Weapons. This is no lands. We have 20 lands in the deck, so if we get no lands, that's going to happen in pretty much any deck. This one has a Breath Weapon and a Thraben Charm, which I guess could be okay. If I get rid of this Compass, well, not only does Compass make black, but it also means we can play Thoughtcast for cheaper. I don't really want to get rid of either of these, though, so I guess I get greedy and get rid of a land? I don't know if that's right, but it's either getting greedy and not keeping all of our colors or not keeping all our lands. They have a Sprawl, Skyfisher, just play Compass. They have a Bogle and an Armor. Yeah, so I can shoot the Armor, or I could save it to see if they play anything else and shoot that. I do need lands. Obviously, we got rid of 1, so that's not great. I could just play Cryogen, hope to hit a land here. Makes it so we can Thoughtcast for 1 next turn. I would like to be able to play both of these on the same turn, but the chance that we can do that and this isn't going to grow by something else is very low. I think we just Relic here. Galvanic probably not going to be relevant. Abundant Growth and another Ethereal Armor. I do feel like their hands have been very above average draws. I guess I'll Thoughtcast and play a Refurb as a blocker. Discard another Scout. They have another Armor. And do they have the Trample? Yes, they do. Okay. Well, we got thoroughly trounced by Bogles, but like I said, pretty good draws from them. All right, one lander here. We do have all of our colors, plus a 1-drop and then another 1-drop, but it's turn 1 bridge, turn 2 compass, turn 3 compass. I guess we can't keep that one. This looks a little better. We will play Dross Forge here. Something green makes me think spy. I'll play a relic, and they cycle a Generosent. If it is spy, they could definitely Masked Vandal us here. Pretty much if it's elves or anything like that, they're going to be able to. Krark could be good, though, if it is like spy walls. There's the Vandal. We do lose black mana here, which is a little annoying, but we have red, which is good. Glint Hawk. Play the Rustvale Bridge. They have a Quarian Ranger, so it could be elves or it could be spy elves. Looks like it might just be regular old elves, in which case Krark's going to be very good. Do need some more fodder for it, but they'll swing for 1. Vault of Whisper's not bad. This is our only white or red mana, which is a little annoying, but I don't really want to Krark here because there's not really anything that scary. Same with Galvanic. This lets me play and replay the bounce and replay the Cryogen, so I think we're just doing that. And okay, in case they have another Masked Vandal, I'd rather just play the red source rather than the black source now that we only have one of. Well, now we're getting a little flooded, but I think this Krark should be pretty good. They have a Lizalana Huntmaster. Okay. Generally pretty scary. It does mean we're going to have to sack 3 to the Krark, but we'd probably have wanted to take out this Masked Vandal anyway. But it doesn't really matter how many elves they make. This guy, chillin'. Well-wisher, yeah. We will definitely be wiping the board here. We're going to have to sack some lands, but luckily we have a billion. And Compass is a nice one, just so we can use that to sacrifice instead of one of our lands. So we're going to sack Relic, let us draw a card here, sack Compass, and sack this Great Furnace. Wipe the board, and send the Hawk in. Winding Way, and they do find 3 creatures. I'll swing for 2, and I guess this Ent's going to come down unless I shoot this Mystic. Potentially. They don't need a forest. I also could sack a land, which I don't really want to do. I think we don't need to panic. I think we'll probably be fine. Unless they get a Generosent down and then are able to put a Hydra on it, which there it is. I think we will just sack this Hawk. Ideally, we draw into some more stuff to play. And I want lands for that. Not terrible draws. I mean, Compass is pretty bad, but the Blood Fountain's good. Play that. Discard Goldmire Bridge. Mere Enforcer is nice. And do I want to block and Galvanic to trade? Probably. Unless they have the Hydra. Which they do, although they put it on the Sentinel, which allows me to shoot the Sentinel. So I understand they're diversifying their threats, but I do appreciate that. Now if we can map this up, it'll be able to block the Hydra, assuming we don't hit a land. Glint Hawk again. We hit a Glint Hawk. We don't really have anything good to return, so I think we'll just put that in the yard. We're going to buy back a Krark here, because if they do get another Hydra and actually put it on like an Ent, it's going to be pretty unfortunate. So I'm just going to play it as some insurance, and obviously hope not to have to sack our entire board. They swing for 5. I think we'll take it this time. Now they have a Timberwatch Elf. I'm going to want to use this at some point. Thoughtcast is a good draw. Refurb is a good draw. We can draw a bunch of cards here with it. They lose a Birchlore Ranger. We draw a Vault of Whispers. We draw a Seat. So now I could sack 2 things to the Krark to wipe these away, because I don't really want the Timberwatch sticking around. It makes blocks and really annoying. They're going to sack the food. I think we'll swing with the Enforcer, which I guess if they just know we're going to use this, they might just chump here. But then this is kind of useless anyway, so it's not a big deal. Yeah, they take 5. Going to make this a Plains. Play it. We'll lose a little bit of tempo by picking up the Refurb here, but I think the card draw or discard's pretty good. And then we're going to sack 2 artifacts to this. Now they swing. I will trade 2 Hawks for this Hydra. They have a Well-Wisher. Not super relevant. And Makeshift Munitions is a pretty good draw. We'll draw a card here. Skyfisher's pretty good too. Draw another one. Cryogen's not bad, but I think we're just going to put this down. Let's see. If we swing and they do draw a Hydra, this will be 8 damage, so it's not lethal regardless, so I can swing. They chump, which makes sense. I probably should have just picked off the Well-Wisher before they had a chance to, but now we have 7 damage we can throw with the munitions, plus we can attack for a bunch. They gotta lead the Stampede, and they find 5 spells. I think it's a little too late. There's a Mystic. We have a Thoughtcast, but I don't really need to even use it. I can just pick off the Elvish Mystic, attack, we get in for 6, and then we have 6 artifacts, 6 lands to throw 6 spells at them, artifacts at them. What am I saying? They block the Mere Enforcer, so we'll throw that, hit for 6, and start throwing some lands. Alright, got game 1. We get Breath Weapon, removal for Hydra, and just creatures in general. Get rid of some of our slower cards, I think. This hand looks pretty good. We have Galvanic to pick off the first 2 creatures, and then Kark for later, and another Galvanic. I think because we have so many red spells, I just want to lead on this. And they played Quarian Ranger first, which isn't going to give them additional mana this turn, unless if they only have 1 land. But on that off chance, I'm just going to blast it right away. And it looks like they did have only 1 land. They use it right away and get a Mystic down. So I think we will shoot the Mystic. So again, this will only give them 1 more mana as opposed to 2. They swing for 1. They didn't float a green before they bounced their forest. I don't know if that was a mistake or they just didn't need the extra mana. But here's a Sentinel. We're now going to be doing the same thing as them, bouncing our land, I think, with this Glint Hawk. Because we're actually not doing as well as we should be, considering we have this lead. But we only have 2 artifacts, so we can't thought cast. Obviously, these enforcers are not good, and we don't want to really start sacrificing guys to our Krark. I think I'm going to not put it on the field, just so that I don't alert them to it. It's possible since they played a Sentinel, which doesn't tap for mana by itself, I actually should have just shot the Ranger. Now they have a Priest. So if I don't draw anything for the Krark, now is going to be when I might have to sack a land, which could put us pretty far behind. We get a Refurb, which we can't play. Feels like this 4-color mana base is not working very well at this moment. Although this is mostly just a number of lands issue. I don't think we can Krark and wipe their board. It would set them back a little bit, but then even if we draw another land, unless it's like an untapped black, we're not doing anything for at least 1 more turn. Makes it so we can pretty much not thought cast for forever. I think I just have to hope that the only thing they do this turn is put down like more 1/1s or 1/2s. But now here's a Nyxborn Hydra. Yep, not looking great. If we can get these enforcers down, maybe we're still in it, but otherwise, pretty rough spot. We get a land finally, so I could thought cast here and just hope to survive. Or I could play Krark and I could wipe these 3. We still are just looking down to 6/6, and then I'm not getting these enforcers down anytime soon. So I think I'm just doing this, hoping. Can't attack because they could untap the Quarian Ranger. Plus, I'd rather probably just have this as a blocker anyway. And they just always have the second Hydra, so we are dead. Triple Galvanic did not do enough. Again, we have Krark, but this is a 1-lander, so we're not going to keep it. It's another 1-lander. 20 lands should be enough. I know if we don't always have the right color of mana, I understand, but not the right number. It should not be happening any more than any other deck, I don't think. This is not a very good hand against elves, but it's actually keepable, so I guess we'll keep. They're also on 5, so maybe that's helpful. I think we'll just get rid of these 2. We'll start on a blue land in case we get an untapped land. We could play a Cryogen. I probably should have just put the Krark on the field in that last game, so that if they went for a big Hydra like that, I could at least wipe the board before it landed. They do have a Mystic, but they thought about not playing it. I guess maybe trying to Generosant and then Masked Vandalist, but they can still do that, so I don't know why they wouldn't do it that way. I guess I'll put another blue land down just in case they take one. They're definitely going to take the red land since that's the one that kills their creatures. They cycle a Generosant. Yep, and they have the Vandal. I guess if I killed the Mystic on turn 1, then it would have prevented them from doing the Masked Vandal on turn 2, so maybe that was their thought process. Birchlore Ranger and Timberwatch Elf. Yep, things are getting rough. I guess we get to play a Refurb and a Thought Cast, looking for that Krark. Get double Skyfisher. They have another Masked Vandal, which they run out real quick, but they don't actually have a creature in their graveyard, so I'm not sure what their goal is with that. I think they kept it over the Winding Way, too. They are swinging. Well, they have a way to give +5/+5, so block here, and I probably don't take 5. And I guess we're just trying to survive right now. I guess if they'd done this first, they probably would just let it trade and then they could have Vandaled me. I guess technically they could let it go and still have another Vandal. Tap and tap these 2, but I'm not expecting that to happen. They do pump this one though, maybe in case they draw another Vandal, but it does lessen the damage we'll take overall. I get to just Refurb their last card, which was another Winding Way. Now I can Skyfisher pick this up, or I could just Relic, chump with this, and then I can pick up the Relic, which draws us more cards, and we're trying desperately to find a Galvanic Blast or a Krark Clan Shaman, so I think that's the play. Ancient Den is fine. They top deck another Winding Way, lucky them, and find another Masked Vandal and a Quarian Ranger, so they can play that this turn. They don't play it pre-combat. They could have taken this away and hit in for more damage. Oh, but this could just be 11 damage, so I guess that's the more they're looking for. So I block, and I'm only blocking 1, plus then they might take away like the Cryogen with the Vandal, because they can still untap if they don't go for this. I think we'll just take it. I think we're kind of Krark or bust at this point. They do pump for +5, untap, pump again, so we're going to go down to 2. We have a seat. We have 2 draws to try to hit this, and we do hit it. Okay. So Timberwatch can still keep something alive. It could keep itself alive, but I could sacrifice 2 more things for it. I got to do it on my turn because otherwise they get 2 uses of this Timberwatch. So I sacrifice 3 things now. Then they try to pump something and I might have to sacrifice 3 more things. That's a lot. Well, I'll get this relic. Plus they have the ability to sacrifice or get rid of an artifact. Okay, they respond right now because this could kill this, which is nice because I actually now only have to sacrifice 3 more things to wipe their whole board, which we will do. Sack the familiar, sack this, and sack what lands do we not need? White and black as much. So I guess we'll do this. So this one was not killing this Timberwatch Elf. So if they had just waited until I pumped at least 2 into this, then did it, then I would have had to pay, sacrifice more on top of all of that. Since they only did it for 1, I only had to sack 4 total to wipe their whole board. And we may just survive here. You gotta play to your outs. And I did find the Krark. They have Priest, Masked Vandal, Forest in hand. Yes, they're definitely going for a Vandal. If they take blue, this one, that would be the worst for us because we don't have any other blue, but they don't necessarily know that. This looks like they're taking us off white and 1 of our red, so I think that's reasonable. We get a Thraben Charm. That's going to be good. I'll probably just save that for the Priest of Titania. So we are at 2, so we can't really take any damage. So I think we'll just... But I do want to attack. So I'll just play a Skyfisher, and I think I'll just pick up the other Skyfisher. I don't really want to pick up a land. So this is more or less just spending my whole turn to get in for 2 damage and tell them I have another Skyfisher, but oh well. They cycle a Generous Ent, then play a Priest. Refurb would be a great draw. Breath Weapon's pretty good too. So I think we just pass here. I guess if they play a Generous Ent, I don't have a great way to kill it. My worry is if they have like a Nyxborn Hydra, Thraben Charm's good for that. I could just Breath Weapon just to kill the Priest. And then if they Nyxborn, it's got to be for 2 or 1, and this can block. Actually, I think maybe I do just Breath Weapon away the Priest. It can make 2 mana, which could be problematic if they get card draw, if they get Generous Ent, or a Nyxborn Hydra. Might as well just get rid of it. They have a Timberwatch Elf. Well, that would be another good one to Breath Weapon, but I guess I'll Thraben Charm it. So now I can play both my creatures to try to have some pressure and get rid of the Timberwatch Elf. Because I'll Skyfisher back a Plains, or rather Ancient Den, replay that, play the Glint Hawk, pick it up again, and I will shoot this for 6 damage. Now, if they have a Nyxborn Hydra, even if they get a Forest as well, I'm not dead. I can't actually block and kill this, so it's not a good thing for us to happen, but they could also just play an Nyxborn Hydra for like 2, so it could be a blocker, or equip, enchant it here. This would be a 2/4 blocker. That does make attacks difficult. They're just gonna pass. I think we attack for 4. If it's a Nyxborn Hydra, which is kind of what I'm expecting, if they get a Forest, I'm gonna have to chump. Not great, but I don't think I want to stop attacking totally, and it does keep me alive at the least. There's a Forest. Yeah, sure looks like it. Yup. This is not great, because if I don't find removal or another creature, then I have to keep chumping, since I won't have enough power for it. That was the choice I made. And we are drawing poorly. I guess if they have another one, I can't attack at all, but I think just accept that and attack anyway. Yeah. Well, we chump again and hope we top deck something good. Thoughtcast into some Mirror Enforcers or something. Timberwatch is pretty annoying too. I guess Navigator's Compass technically keeps us alive. This pumps for 5, so I have to chump still. Well, there was a middle point where they played roughly and drew poorly, but now they're drawing pretty much everything they want. Masked Vandal, that's pretty relevant. They're taking a land. I feel like they should take this in case I pick up. I guess they're trying to cut me off red, but is that really going to happen? They do play it pre-combat so that they can get in for more damage, which obviously makes sense. We're going to go to 1 here. We draw Blood Fountain. I guess that's a Krark. And for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which means I could kill both of these. So I guess we're not technically dead yet. Refurb's going to be expensive, so I guess we just get a Glint Hawk, because we're going to have to sacrifice every single one of our lands. 6, 7, 8, because this we have to hit for 5, this we have to hit for 3, and we have to do it now, because otherwise this will pump it. I guess we take a Glint Hawk. I mean, we are pretty much going to lose here, but I guess we are technically still alive. Sacrifice every single permanent we have. And if they draw really poorly and can't play a single power creature that can attack us, then we can survive here. If they play any creature at all, we have to get an Ancient Den, of which we have none left, probably. We have 1 left. We get a bridge. they can attack us with the morph. All right, let's see if we can actually pull this one back. This hand looks pretty good. Looks like we're against Jund. We will get down our refurb. I guess this way we can't play Skyfisher next turn, so it's possible I should have just played the bridge, and then next turn I could have played refurb and Skyfisher. I think that would have been a little better. I discard a Galvanic Blast. I'm going to assume that means they're on Gixian Infiltrator, which is the new hotness. The Lembas. Cryogen is a fantastic draw. It makes it look like I was a genius for not doing what I did, for doing what I did, you know? I guess we just looked like Grixis Affinity until that. There's a Wildfire. Puts them on all 4 colors. Double Galvanic means if we just get him to 10, although this Lembas could throw that off a little bit, then we can finish him off. We're going to just Skyfisher the Relic, because it's more card advantage, and play the Familiar for the aggression, and play Rust Veil so I can have double Blast up. They have a refurb. Let's pitch a bridge. That is second black source, so maybe I should have kept it. Blood Fountain. Okay. No Chrysalis means we can still attack in. Ooh, Thoughtcast is pretty good too. Play that. Another Thoughtcast. I think I'll play the Relic. Play it this way so that I can hold up double Galvanic still. And I could just shoot this, but I think I just want to keep the burn. So we'll let them trade. They have a Galvanic Blast. That's annoying. I don't think we're using these this turn then, so I'm just going to Relic. Unless they play a Chrysalis and like crack the guys right away maybe, but... They offering away the Lembas. Another Thoughtcast. We are not running out of cards anytime soon. There's a Wildfire. Refurb. We'll just get rid of a land. Pretty annoying to attack now because then they can just Blood Fountain back both refurbs. So I probably won't. That changes things a little bit. Now I actually will. Specifically because they'll probably trade and then I can take them off it. They don't actually. Fair enough. Maybe because I was too eager for it. We now have triple Galvanic, we just don't have the red for it. We also have Makeshift. I think we will Thoughtcast. Mirror Enforcer's pretty good. Glint Hawk's pretty good. I want to leave up 1 red so I can do End Step, hit him with it, and then untap, hit him with 2 more. And I do want to get the Spell Bomb down. So I think I'm just picking up the Relic here. Oh, looks like they're going to Galvanic the Refurb. Fair. Yep. So I'll pick up a Cryogen and play the Spell Bomb and then pass. Now they need Lembas or Pulsamarasa, although I can Spell Bomb away the Pulse to be able to survive. They pitch a bridge, go for the old draw 3, map onto the Refurb, they hit a Spell Bomb, map again, they hit a bridge, and they bog us. We're just gonna not waste any time, hit them with 3 Galvanic Blasts. Alright, got there against Jund. We get Dust to Dust, which is great. Thraben Charm is pretty good. All 3 of the modes of Thraben Charm are pretty strong enchantments, so you can get rid of a Makeshift, you can exile the graveyard, or you can just deal damage to a creature. Fair Macabre is not bad against a Blood Fountain or a Pulse. Krark is less relevant in this matchup, as is Munitions. Like for value, this is just a nice card to like end the game, but I don't think we really need it. And generally the Galvanics are not as important, although I guess if with Gixian Infiltrators I think they're pretty good, but I don't know what else to cut. We're gonna see how easy it is to get double white for Dust to Dust. It is definitely maybe a card we should take out, but one of the best parts about being able to play white is Dust to Dust, so I didn't really want to, not represent that. Okay, Dust to Dust looking a little awkward here, but Cryogen into Thoughtcast is pretty strong, so we're just going to hope we can find our black and our white sources. They duress us. That's pretty annoying if they take Cryogen, which they don't. They are far too scared of the Dust to Dust, which, thank God, because if we didn't have a Cryogen... Oh, they have a Pyro here. Well, that's why. Okay, that makes sense. Pretty annoying then. Maybe I should have assumed that based on the fact that they didn't take it, but I just assumed they were an idiot. Let's get rid of this Thraben Charm. Land of any kind. Nope, can't play a Thoughtcast. Spell Bomb and a Gixian Infiltrator. Well, this is going to be problematic if we can't find any removal. Okay, it's so unreasonable that our 4-color mana base is not working for us through a Duress and a Pyroblast. Just not fair. They got a Chrysalis on top and attacking for 7, so if we don't hit anything here, we're super dead. Galvanic Blast does not even kill this because we don't have 3 artifacts on the battlefield. It can kill this, but no. Not gonna work. I guess Krarks are better because of the Gixian, but still have refurbs there. Like it wouldn't have mattered at that point, right? I couldn't have sacrificed my lands to make it worth it. All right, we've got mana, and if we draw into some things, it'll be pretty good. They are mulliganing to 5 to 4, which often means either Dust to Dust will just instantly win the game, or if we actually can hit it, that is. Or it's going to be stone useless because they didn't get any artifact lands. Thoughtcast is pretty good, though. We'll just make sure we have our colors of mana. You got a Wellspring. Not doing too poorly, but yeah, Galvanic is nice. We're just Thoughtcasting here. Cryogen. Now we come online. Big time. And they are looking for lands. They do find a bog. We are finding galvanic blasts. Ooh, and a refurb. Let's see, if I play this and this and this, we should not have to discard from this relic, I don't believe. Yeah. And now we have double galvanic, so they need to be able to stop pressure quickly here, which if they have like a chrysalis and a forest, they could certainly do. There's a Lembas and a landscape. Swing for 4, play a relic. They have the pyroblast. I mean, that's pretty good. I'm just going to play a Skyfisher then. Go for the aggro. Play a bridge. They're not doing bad at all considering their mulligan, but if they don't have a chrysalis here, then we just get in for 6. We have galvanics for 8, so they really need to be able to survive, but looks like they might have it. I guess we just have a Thraben Charm for that, though. And they have an Infiltrator. Map onto it. Cleansing Wildfire. Bin that. So we're going to Thraben Charm the chrysalis. Get in for 6. I can't play this Glint Hawk, so we'll just play this. I could shoot the Infiltrator, which might be the safer play because it could deal a whole bunch of damage here, but I just think with double galvanic, it means that they die here even with the Lembas, which is pretty good. They're going to pass. I don't think I'm going to use it yet, just on the off chance they have like the storm or something weird. I don't think they will. Breath Weapon. Yeah, there we go. That's pretty good. And they're going to sack the Lembas before I can... Okay, I am going to galvanic blast this Infiltrator now. This is the last moment before it's going to be too big. Actually, it's taking Breath Weapon damage, so I could still do it this turn, but it's actually becoming problematic, and there's a chance that we could lose if we let it go. So I'm gonna get rid of that. Hit for 2. Nothing to dust. I'm not going to take 1 land, but I guess we are going to Glint Hawk for no value, but being able to attack for more here. Their mulligan's been really solid. They have a Fanatical Offering. You know, maybe that was a reason to dust it. Another Lembas. Play a bridge. Thoughtcast is good. Let's do that. Those cards are less good. I am going to take away their bridge and their Lembas so they can't gain life, and they can't Wildfire. I don't really care about playing this Compass right now, though. There's a Chrysalis. They're going to sack, so I'm going to Galvanic it right away. Maybe they're doing a Fanatical Offering here, and they're going to just sack the Chrysalis. Yeah, but I had to take the chance, I think, because if they just let that go and then don't sack this to anything, then it's a worse spot, and I need that dead so I can attack in. Blood Fountain is a very good draw. We have a Refurb and a Glint Hawk in the grave, which I can play both of, so I will. I don't necessarily want to overextend here and put all of them on the field, but since I'm going to pick up the Refurbished Familiar again, I don't mind doing this. And the reason is because I don't want to die to a Breath Weapon, but I also would like to have at least one more creature down, so if all they do is a Chrysalis, I can get around it. They have a Refurb. Map onto it. Get a bridge, and they concede. I mean, that was a very good game despite the fact that they mulliganed so low. Like, they were on the back foot and I was the aggressor the entire time, but they were very close to stabilizing a lot. So closer than it would have looked based on the mulligan. All right, we have turn 2 Relic and then a Skyfisher. Pretty good. We also, once we find red mana, have some interaction, which will be nice. And they're on Black Burn. I think we played against them recently. Cryogen Relic. Compass is a pretty good draw against Burn. Yeah, I think I played against them recently, just barely squeaked out a win, but they did crush us in a game and almost in another one, so they have a lot of life gain, or rather life drain, which makes it so that I honestly just want to start compassing right away. I can Glint Hawk and Compass, but I think we'll Thoughtcast here then. Okay, so yeah, we'll play the Compass, Glint Hawk, pick it back up. Right now it just looks like we're Esper, but little do they know that we are a worse deck with more colors. They have a Fruit of Tizerus, and then Soul Reap, Tyrant's Choice. So we lose another 4 here. Another Compass. We're gonna Thoughtcast, play a Compass, play a bridge. That's 6, so I could play another Compass and play an Enforcer, and that gives me 2 blockers for this. We just need to survive. That's what we want to do. So I'm not gonna swing for 2. I will happily double block if we have 2 creatures to do that with, and we just get to go. Okay, well, I'm gonna play Skyfisher, pick up the Compass, replay it. We don't need value in a deck like this because they're going to run out of steam very quickly. We just need to survive. So I'm going to swing. They chump the Enforcer. It's a good sign. They have a Village Rites or something? They do. Okay, fair enough. I'll play a 1/1 that can attack. And they concede. Yeah, we were at 21 life and they had 5 cards, which is a good amount, but we had way better board presence, obviously. And they concede the whole match. All right, we're on the play, and we actually have all our colors, which means we can play we can play a turn 2 Cryogen Relic with this. So I think we're gonna do that probably. Or I could just get down Familiar on 1. Ooh, they're blue something. If they're High Tide, I want them to discard as many cards, so Familiar's good. If they're Terror, then they could have Spell Pierce for the Relic. And if they're fairies, who knows? I think we're gonna just do the Refurb then. Plays around Spell Pierce and it's better against High Tide, so 2 of 3 isn't bad. And actually, it's a fair, like if they flash in an Ilvoid Galeblade for a ninja here, then this is good. So actually, I think this is the best against all 3 of them. And it looks like Terror. Mental Note, hit a Serpent and a Ponder. Ponder again. Well, I guess the first one was just milled, but play a Delver. Okay. Krark can be pretty good in this match against Serpents. Now, we don't have Death Touch, but just the fact that we can sack 5 artifacts is not terrible, but I could just use it to wipe this Delver away. Right now we're just playing Relic, seeing what we draw. I think I'm not going to probably do that because we also just have a flyer for this, and quite a few flyers, in fact. Yeah, so I guess I'll just play another Compass. I don't really want to show them we have a Krark this early. I'm sure they can guess we have them in the deck, but not necessarily in our hand. Dispel on top. They swing, and we will trade. And they play a Cryptic Serpent. We get a Munitions. That's not great. I guess I'll play the Krark so that it can dodge counter spells, and I guess it makes it so they are less likely to put more terrors on the field. But I don't really plan to sacrifice 5 artifacts at the moment. Cycle Olorian. They do just put down another terror. Okay. Well, I'm getting nothing else. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I still have 3 lands. I worry if they put down another terror, that means they have at least 1 more, though, so they're going to be able to, like, follow up pretty effectively. I could just stun this for a turn, try to draw a card, and take 5. I am down 1 artifact to sacrifice, but I think it might be worth it. If we just draw, I mean, something like that. Of course, this can block here, but I would need 3 mana to throw something at it with a Munitions. I could block here and then Krark for 4 and then throw, or Krark for 4 and then throw the Krark at the Serpent. That could work. They're going to Sleep of the Dead, so I can't block. I think we'll just take it this turn then. We get a seat. I mean, I'm doing it this turn, right? So I might as well get in for 1. Because I'm sacrificing 1, 2, might as well do the Enforcer because it's going to die anyway, and some lands, and I might as well throw the Krark at them, and then they just play another terror. They don't? Why would they run out 2 terrors if they didn't have another terror? When I had the Krark on board. They just didn't think I'd pull the trigger? Of course I'm going to pull the... Okay, well there's another one. Galvanic Blast, but they have a Dispel for that. That doesn't matter. Well, I'm not going to throw 5 artifacts at this until it's absolutely necessary, which is like 1 turn away. Skyfisher, I guess we'll play that. So I block and I throw 3 artifacts at it. Yep. I mean, I could Galvanic Blast, but they just dispel it, so it doesn't really matter. So ping it off and keep drawing lands, which I guess is fine, as long as they're not playing creatures. Thought Scour, hit a Delver. Well, I'll play Mere Enforcer. If it doesn't get counterspelled, then we have a good attacker, but it does. They Ponder. They have a Demon Inferior. I mean, I don't want to draw that again, I guess. I wouldn't mind keeping it on the field, but I don't want to waste a draw on it. They Thought Scour us, even though I put it on the bottom, but they got it. They're tapped low, so maybe I can, if I get another Galvanic or something, I can kill this Delver. I mean, I guess I just play this. Galvanic Blast, not going to do anything unless they tap out here, in which I will use it. I have a Mental Note. Oh, right, they have Sleep of the Dead. And just another Demon Inferior. I guess this one I will put second from the top because it blocks, but I guess Sleep of the Dead kind of makes it irrelevant if I'm not getting value out of it. Fanatical Offering. I guess I'd rather that resolve, so I'm going to blast this, knowing that it'll probably get countered. Then I'll hope this one does not. And it didn't. We can Glint Hawk. Again, just going to get Sleep of the Deaded. But what else do we got? Nothing. Tap the Glint Hawk, swing for 3. We get a Thoughtcast. We get a Refurb, which just gets tapped and doesn't matter. Alright, we're dead. We get Red Blasts, Graveyard Hate, take out some useless stuff. Alright, we have Compass, and then Cryogen. I mean, if we don't get blasted and counterspelled, you know, we got an okay hand. Here, yeah, getting this Relic countered is really annoying, but it's, if it doesn't get countered, if I don't cast it here, then they're just going to have full counterspell mana up, so I think I just have to take the chance they don't have it. Brainstorm. I'm going to play a Compass. If this gets countered, honestly, it'd be kind of annoying because I lose my colors and stuff. I could Thoughtcast. It might get Spell Pierced. Again, I just think at some point it's going to happen. And it didn't this time. Mental Note, 3 spells engrave. Cycle Olorian, so that could be a terror. Indeed. Seat. I could play a Skyfisher and a Mere Enforcer, and that blocks without a Demon Inferior. I think that's probably what we're doing. Pick up the Compass, and we'll pass. Alright, they do have the Demon Inferior. get rid of the Enforcer. We'll put it on top. We don't necessarily have a way to draw it next turn, but it's just a decent blocker, assuming they don't have a Thought Scour for it. They do have another Terror, though. Could have exiled their graveyard. I don't know if that would have been better. I think they're deciding whether they want to Thought Scour us here. They decide not to. We just get another Skyfisher. Play a Compass. See, we can make this tap for white. Skyfisher, but I can't. I'd have to untap a land and this, so I can't really get this back and play the Glint Hawk this turn, which means I can't block, unfortunately. So we'll just pick up the Compass and replay it, and I guess I'm probably not blocking this turn, so I'll swing for 2. They do Thought Scour us, get rid of the Mirror Enforcer. Swing for 10. Another Serpent. We get a white source, but it's tapped. I mean, I guess I can still play Glint Hawk, replay the Compass, and Thraben Charm away their Serpent, which I guess I do in their upkeep. This loses to a Spell Pierce, but oh well. They could also easily just have a Dispel or just a Counterspell. That does go off, though. They play Demon Inferiors, so the chance they have like a Boomerang is low. So assuming these all make it to combat, I will just triple block a Terror, but they could just have the Demon Inferior. And then I can't block here. I guess I put it on top, and I just hope I draw like a card draw spell into the Skyfisher, so I can get it back this turn. They have another Serpent, which means I need a card draw spell, Thoughtcast into 2 creatures or removal, otherwise I have to chump anyway. That's pretty freaking good, actually. And they're tapped out. 5, so I can have 2 lands left. All right, what a top deck. So we're gonna keep white, black, blue, red. Here go all the other lands. This does give us a shot, though. They have 1 card in hand. I have a pretty fast clock now. Not as fast as I'd like, but it's... Let's see, next turn I get a Skyfisher down, attack for another 4. They're at 10, so like a 4-turn clock here roughly. And they concede. Okay, well, let's go to the last game. That was quite a good draw. All right, we're going to keep this one. We might wait, well, yeah, we might wait till turn 3 for the Relic so we can have Red Blast up. Or if we just have another Relic, I could just still play one on turn 2. Mental Note, 2 spells in the bin. Compass makes it so I can have the Red Blast up this turn and then next turn with the Relic. I think we'll do that then. So, because they are already looking to get like a turn 3 Terror or 2. Okay, they hit Terror and Island. That's good. That slows them down a bit. Delver's fine. Mirror Enforcer's good. Yeah, let's play a Relic. That's good. Ooh, I can't do it with Red Blast, but I could Blood Fountain and then get down an Enforcer if that resolves. The worst that could happen is they counter the Blood Fountain and then they put down like 2 Terrors. That seems pretty bad. I guess we'll try not to let that happen. I mean, the worst case that could happen is they counter it and then they play like 4 Terrors, but like realistically, a couple of Terrors. They flip the Delver, play an Island and they pass. Another Compass. All right, we'll play a Blood Fountain here. That's good. Play an Enforcer. That's fine. I guess I'll play the Compass. Gives us more blue next turn, still lets me hold up the Red Blast, and then next turn I can Thoughtcast and Cryogen and Red Blast. And yeah, I'll probably fight over Terror and just about nothing else. I mean, if they play a Lorien here, I'll counter that for sure. Unless I just want them to tap out a little bit. If they play nothing, I could just try to shoot the Aberration. Just play a land. And then we get our Thoughtcast and our Cryogen off, potentially. I guess we'll do that. I don't know if that's best. I can also just tap this with the Relic. They just let it go. Galvanic Blast. That would have been a nice card to use on the Delver and then hold the Red Blast for something else. But we'll swing Thoughtcast. That's good. Guess we'll play another Relic. I'm sure they have a counter spell, so if I Glint Hawk, I think that gets countered, but another Relic probably doesn't. Ooh, I could do a Refurb, but they haven't done anything here, so I think I'd rather just wait until until next turn when I can overload them with some more stuff. And if they play another Delver, I could like blast it. They're going to Brainstorm. They do have a Delver, which they've set up, so it's definitely going to be a 3-2, and another one. Okay. I'm going to blast here. I either take out a Delver, they counterspell it, and then we can... Oh, they Demon Inferior as well. Okay. Well, I'll put that on top, and I can draw it right away. I will shoot one of these. That's fine. We'll play a Refurb, see if they have an Annul or anything. They do, but that means I get my Glint Hawk down, pick up the Relic, we get our Mirror Enforcer again, and maybe something else. I guess we will pitch a card here just in case we get another Enforcer. No, we got a Red Blast, which if we didn't pitch, we could have bluffed to have, but I don't think that's a big deal. Delver's going to flip with a Deep Analysis, and they're going to play that. Thraben Charm would be nice before they start getting Terrors down, wipe their graveyard, take away the other half of the Deep Analysis. If they swing, I don't think I'm going to block. I'll just get in for a bunch and I could Cryogen this down, but they don't. Fanatical is good. I'll just do that on one of the Relics to draw 3. We do get the Thraben Charm, which they can't do anything about because they could counter and I have a Red Blast. I'll map onto the Enforcer for extra damage or just extra lands. Attack, they'll trade, and I will exile their graveyard. And that goes through. Cycle a Lorien and cast another one. Well, we're going to counter that. Play an island. Luckily, we have a Blood Fountain here, so we're not out of gas, even though we're not drawing great. We can buy back Refurb and Glinthawk. I could make them discard 2 cards. If they only had 2 cards, I probably would, but since they have 3, they can keep the best one. Might as well just draw more cards here. And we'll play the Cryogen. If they have a null for it, so be it. You'll get a Kark. That's not bad either. We'll play Familiar. We have Lethal. Plus, we can wipe away any creatures they can play. Although if we wipe away a Terror or a Serpent, which they do have there, the Enforcer would die, obviously. All right, and we get the match. Well, we were able to get a 3-2, which is not too bad, although the reason that we were playing red, in addition to all of the other things, was so that we would have a Krark Clan Shaman, and we lost to Elves and Bogles, 2 matches that are supposed to be determined by the Krark Clan Shaman. Now, we didn't have Toxin Analysis, so losing to Bogles, I guess, should be kind of assumed at that point. We didn't have any edicts in the sideboard either, but losing to Elves was pretty annoying considering Krark Clan was one of the reasons we were playing red. Now, I probably mispiloted that a little bit, losing to an Nyxborn Hydra and things like that. Maybe I didn't need to, so that could be user error. In general, though, you saw we had many mana issues, and I don't think this was worth it. I certainly think that you should either stick with Grixis Affinity or, in my opinion, move over to Esper Cryoblade because it seems to be a sweet deck, and it does not have anywhere near as many mana issues. In any case, this was quite a blast to play. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to my $10 patrons and up, Howard Granger, Lars, JMW, Josh Greeninja, Rafa Rodriguez, JD MPX, and Jason Golombuski. I really appreciate the support, and I will see you all next time.